Hello everyone and welcome to Civic Platform. This is your host Zuher Almusre. Today I'm visiting Palestinian Foodorama. It's an event gather all the Arabic people and especially the Palestinian in Winnipeg. So today there is a lot of in their agenda. There is speakers and there is maqluba, it's a traditional food in Palestine, and there is a kunafa, it's a very traditional, unique traditional food in Palestine. Today I will ask the participant today about their challenge in Winnipeg and how we can solve it and make it more easier for them in their future. So let's see what their answer it looks like, and let's jump right in.
Hey Zuher, thank you very much for coming here at the Palestinian Foodorama. We appreciate you coming with Civic Platform to cover this event, and we really appreciate you doing that. My name is Zuher Almusre. I'm here as a Palestinian food organizer. We're here setting up and getting everything ready for the Foodorama at the Manitoba Islamic Association. Well, this showcases the Palestinian roots in Winnipeg. Palestinians have been here for a long time. My uncle came here in 1967, and then all my family followed after that, including my father. And we've been here for a long time, so we want to showcase our culture and our heritage here in Canada, and we want to show everybody what the Palestinians are all about here in Winnipeg. Well, the Palestinian situation has been ongoing, as you know, for a long time. We've been under occupation for a long time, and it's been ever evolving. And you know, being here far away from back home, we appreciate being here in Canada. Canada's been really good to us. But we are really always thinking about back home. We try not to let it bug us too much that our friends and family and our fellow countrymen are going through what they're going through. We try and support them as much as we can. Today is going to be a day that we showcase our culture, showcase Palestinians, that we are here, we are alive, we have fun, we enjoy people, we want people to enjoy us. We want people to become Palestinian for a day. When they come here in the masjid here, we want everybody to come and enjoy our culture, and we want to share with them being Palestinian. Palestinians need support. They want people to understand and to relate to us. We are going against very big media, very big situations there, and we want just our support. We want you to hear us and to listen to us and to hear our stories, to hear the real stuff that happens on the ground. We want you to know that we're part of your community. We've been here for a long time. I myself grew up here, and I came here, I went from 1 year old all the way to owning a business now here in Winnipeg. And we love being in Winnipeg, but we want this to be like what we want. We want this life to be for Palestinians back home. We want our own country. We want to be free. We want to be safe. We want to be able to do everything that every other Canadian does, and that's what we want. So CPAM is the Palestinian Association in Winnipeg. Basically, it's an organization run by Palestinians for Palestinians in Canada, in Winnipeg, especially in Manitoba. And basically, it is run to organize events so that we bring awareness for the Palestinian cause. We do have rallies and other forms of awareness. Even this event today was organized by CPAM and the Palestinian Association and the Manitoba Islamic Association. Basically, they work together in order to bring this great event to happen. And then they asked me and my family to help out and our friends, and we were happy to oblige and help out. So basically the agenda for today is everybody's going to come in, we're going to sit down, we're going to start around 6:30, and Manitoba Islamic Association is going to start the event by introducing our guest speakers. Basically, we are very fortunate to have the Palestinian Ambassador to Canada to join us today, and the President of CPAM, and then we have one of our founding brothers. He's one of the pioneers in Canada. His name is Brother Abdul Tassi. And then the president of the Palestinian Association, which is Ramzi Zaid, and the ambassador, her name's Muna. They'll be all speaking, and we will also have a student group from the University of Manitoba that's going to be doing spoken word And then at the end, we're going to have a real nice treat. We're going to do a traditional maqloube flip. So basically, maqloube is a famous dish in Palestine. It's one of the heritage dish. Everybody has it. It's traditional. And basically, a maqloube means upside down in English. And basically, what you do is it's a rice dish, and it gets flipped upside down on a bigger plate, and we lift it up. The beautiful steam rice comes out, and it's something really nice to see. And then everybody's going to enjoy also a really famous dessert, which is called the kanafa, and it's a cheesy sweet dessert that everybody loves. It's worldwide. A lot of people know it, and even here in Winnipeg in Canada, it's taking off, and a lot of people are getting to know it. So we really enjoy serving this to people, and we appreciate everybody coming, and we appreciate Zuher and Civic platform to be here to cover this event.
Hi, I'm Ambassador Muna Abu Amara, Chief Representative of the Palestinian General Delegation to Canada. I arrived yesterday to Winnipeg for a 4-day visit. My visit will mainly concentrate on many aspects: official, community, and Indigenous. The main issue was that I'm fascinated with the Indigenous history, culture, and specifically the relationship between an Indigenous person and the land. So after taking the course, the free course that was provided by Alberta University about the Indigenous history, I spoke with an MP, my friend Leah Gazan, and we decided to have a visit to Winnipeg to be able to see firsthand and talk to the chiefs and talk to the Palestinian community and see how we can help the communities and explain the cause as well. So it has been great. This is my second day. Yesterday I got to meet with my community, the Palestinian community, with the elders, and got to speak to them. And today this has been amazing, meeting with the Muslim community, with all the dignitaries running for office, and just being able to talk to everyone and connect was an amazing experience. And I'm looking forward to also, I'm seeing a number of chiefs from the Indigenous community, and would love to get their perspective and to learn more from them about their experience and their history. So all in all, I love this trip. It had given me hope that more of this needs to happen, to have, especially for me, the Palestinian community to be connected somehow by traveling through all of the provinces, hopefully, and the territories, and meeting with everyone. I actually have this, I'm going to speak about it a little in my speech, but what I can tell you is these challenges face a lot of minority groups. So finding refuge in a country away from home and starting to live in it and taking it as a second home to you is a challenge on its own. But also to have the community around you understand these distinct issues about your cause is another challenge. And for the Palestinians in particular, the biggest challenge right now, of course, is how to communicate that cause without being portrayed as anti-Semitic or racist, or so some of these challenges that I've heard constitute just feeling the need to explain more and to communicate more. And for us as a Palestinian cause, it has nothing to do with religion. And as you've seen, we have different people from all religions here today, and that's how the Palestinian cause survived all of those years, because it does not belong to any nation, any religion, any distinct group. It's for everyone who values principles and international law, so it's easy to deal with it. And I think that with knowledge integration and more acknowledgement, people will see that what Palestinians want and strive for. It's just their basic rights, and it's not against anyone. There is right now some groups that are working on defining what that anti-Palestinian racism looks like and how to tackle it. And I also will speak about it in my speech. But in general, it's, as I told you, being understanding and listening to the other with no prejudice. That I think that is a start. Not allowing for a normalization of the subjugation and the oppression of the Palestinian people would play a lot in this. Just give a chance to listening to the story being narrated from Palestinians themselves. I think that would be an amazing solution. So first and foremost, every time I travel anywhere to the community, and I tell them, be good Canadians, because by being good Canadians, you help Palestine the most. Integration, helping your community, you show the country that took you in, that harbored you, what it means to be a Palestinian and how that plays into building and enriching your community around you. So while you're doing that, you get people in front of you to know and listen and hear and have that connection, and then they would understand more where you're coming from and why you are feeling what you're feeling and what your future aspirations are and why you're calling for freedom for your people.
My name is Zahra. I am a third year computer science student at the University of Manitoba, and I am president of the Students for Justice in Palestine initiative at the University of Manitoba. Students for Justice in Palestine at the University of Manitoba is a student collective. It's a grassroots organization that focuses on the well-being of students who support Palestinians and Palestinians who are from Palestine at the University of Manitoba, looking to be comfortable and free in their Palestinianhood. Coming out to events such as the Foodorama that's hosted by the MIA is very important because it allows for Palestinians to celebrate their culture, to flourish and thrive in a community that's bigger than themselves, to network and to find like-minded folks who support the cause and find pride in being Palestinian. The challenges that a lot of students who support Palestine face nowadays is the freedom to speak is limited, and the freedom to speak on certain issues is limited. And so my advice to these students is to make sure that you're loud and proud about the causes that you are passionate about and the causes that you support. As students in Canada, we enjoy the freedom of speech that is provided to us, and we enjoy and thrive in spaces where we can build onto our understanding of certain ideas. Another issue that a lot of students go through at the University of Manitoba or in general, is working through concepts like Orientalism and discrimination. We're usually put in a box where we're not allowed to, or not supposed to be a certain way. That is something I would encourage students to think about and to make sure that they're not put in that box.
My name's Andrew Smith. I'm the Minister of Sport, Culture and Heritage for the province of Manitoba, and I'm also the MLA for Lagimodi, which is in southeast Winnipeg. Here today to support Foodorama. I know that it's been a very challenging few years with COVID, and it's so nice to see everyone back, having fun, enjoying good company. I understand we also have a number of special guests tonight. I understand the ambassador's here as well, so I'm looking forward to meeting her. I think it's going to be a tremendous opportunity for the whole community to get together and meet some interesting people. Well, look, Winnipeg is a very multicultural city. I think everyone knows that. There's groups from all over the world, ethnicities from all over the world who have settled here in Manitoba. So I've seen a lot of successful folks and a lot of successful cultures highlighting their culture and introducing their culture to other Winnipeggers and other Manitobans. That's what's happening here today with the Palestinian community, and I think that's so important to make sure that other folks in Winnipeg are familiar with the community, are familiar with the culture, and especially the food. I think that's a wonderful way to share your culture with the greater community. Manitoba is the home of hope. We've seen people come from all parts of the world, sometimes escaping war, oppression, and other types of issues to come to Manitoba to find a safe place to raise their family. And I think that's true of any community, including the Palestinian community. Manitoba is very welcoming, and we as a government of Manitoba are actually introducing a fund for sports, culture, and heritage to make sure that community groups are able to apply to get funding for community initiatives and infrastructure right here in Manitoba. So that's our contribution to help make it, or help prepare folks for coming from other parts of the world to Manitoba, but also to help the community here to be able to settle here, highlight their culture, and share their valuable culture with the greater community right across the province of Manitoba. I want to make sure the community knows that I just mentioned I have a fund that we've created at the province of Manitoba, supported by the Premier Heather Stephenson. And it's a $100 million fund spread over 3 years. I'll be very quick about it, but it's a fund that can support infrastructure, programming, and events in the community that have to do with sports, culture, arts, or heritage. So the community, if you're interested, please let us know. The application intake is open. The deadline for the large capital is the end of October. Small capital, September 26th. Please apply. We'll provide the station with more information as to the website, phone numbers, and all those types of things, so you, the community, can apply for this. We want to make sure Manitobans after COVID not only just survive COVID, they thrive after COVID.
My name is Aisha Sultan. I'm a student from University of Manitoba. I came on behalf of Student Justice for Palestine, SJP. I came on behalf of them for a spoken word poetry. They invited me to speak for the Palestine, and the poetry that I presented today was by Ali Soab, and his words are really great to understand the situation of Palestine, so I decided to speak today for them. So these type of events raise awareness. If anything, we can sit at home all the time. We speak with friends, with group of people. We always talk about different type of situations, specifically Palestine. We can even post so many things on social media, but when the group comes together, a community comes together, you can clearly see that they want to raise awareness, and their voice, as a community, the voice really matters too much as a specific person talking individually. That's why I decided to come here in a community and present it, because I know the words of poetry, anything can actually matter until it's raising awareness. So as a community, people can meet each other, can introduce each other, network, and most importantly, raise voice for Palestine. Well, my final message will be, I would definitely hope that everyone can come outside, talk, and raise awareness in one way or another. Just don't sit and think that I'm the only one person and I cannot make a difference, because at least making a difference, trying to bring a change, getting out of your comfort zone and actually raising voices for people who need a lot matters a lot, since the Palestine does not have that much voice in that country. We over here living abroad, living outside from there, need our voices, need their voices. They need their voices to be heard, so we can go ahead and just speak something instead of just sitting around and not doing anything. Just try something, anything matters.
We start with a prayer, so we will start with a verse from the Quran. After that, by Najmuddin al-Bakri, who's 10 years old, member of the community. And after that, I will introduce some of our MLAs and city councillors, and then we will go from there, inshallah.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. سبحان الذي أسرى بعبده ليلا من المسجد الحرام إلى المسجد الأقصى الذي باركنا حوله لنريه من آياتنا إنه هو السميع البصير. وآتينا موسى الكتاب وجعلناه هدى لبني إسرائيل ألا تتخذوا من دوني وكيلا ذرية من حملنا مع نوح إنه كان عبدا شكورا. وقضينا إلى بني إسرائيل في الكتاب لتفسدن في الأرض مرتين ولتعلن علوا كبيرا فإذا جاء وعد أولاهما بعثنا عليكم عبادا لنا أولي بأس شديد فجاسوا خلال الديار وكان وعدا مفعولا ثم رددنا لكم الكرة عليهم وأمددناكم بأموال وبنين وجعلناكم أكثر نفيرا إن أحسنتم لأنفسكم وإن أسأتم فلها فإذا جاء وعد الآخرة ليسوءوا وجوهكم وليدخلوا المسجد كما دخلوه أول مرة وليتبروا ما علوا تتبيرا عسى ربكم أن يرحمكم وإن عدتم عدنا وجعلنا جهنم للكافرين حصيرا إن هذا القرآن يهدي للتي هي أقوم ويبشر المؤمنين الذين يعملون الصالحات أن لهم أجرا كبيرا وأن الذين لا يؤمنون بالآخرة أعتدنا لهم عذابا أليما صدق الله العظيم.
So this is Surah Isra, which is the 17th surah in the Quran, and I'm sorry, I'm trying to get my phone open, and it talks about the Prophet's journey. It's a miraculous journey from Mecca to Jerusalem at night, and I thought this was a significant surah. The surah further goes on to talk about God choosing people to stand up for justice, to stand up for human rights, and when we are chosen, it is our duty to speak for people who are oppressed or who cannot speak for themselves. So this is an apt surah because in Canada we have been provided that freedom that we can actually stand up for justice and humanity. So it is the 17th surah in the Quran, the first 10 verses. Homework after dinner is to go look up the translation. As we move on, I would like to acknowledge, I would like to make the treaty acknowledgement. We acknowledge we are gathered on Treaty 1 territory and that Manitoba is located on the treaty territories and ancestral lands of the Anishinabeg, Anishinaabeg, Dakota, Dene people, and the Nehitawuk nations. We also acknowledge that Manitoba is located on the homeland of the Red River Métis. With that, I would like to just acknowledge a couple of MLAs and city councillors that we have amongst us. If you could, first of all, I would like to introduce Mona, who is our ambassador from Palestine. Please wave, Mona. And we have a large, and I would also like to acknowledge the volunteers. Please wave, volunteers. Well, they're not listening to me because they're serving. But these women have been cooking all day. We have been setting up the venue all day, and these are all volunteers, so thank you so much. This would not be possible without them. I also want to acknowledge the staff at MIA who've been working tirelessly. So, if I miss any dignitaries, please let me know and wave. So I'm going to start with John Gerard, MLA River Heights, please wave. Andrew Smith, MLA Lashmadier, please wave. Janice is on here, but I didn't see Janice. Luke, City Councilor, I don't see her, but I think she's coming. Audrey Gordon, MLA Southdale. Okay, we have Stephanie, I think NDP MLA from Steinbach? No? Okay. Dugold, MLA from St. Boniface. Nahani and, yes, thank you. Nahani and Diljit, NTP MLAs are supposed to be here, but I didn't see them either, so maybe as they come I will introduce. And Mark, our MLA, is here as well. So I will give this over to Ramsey, who is the head of the Canadian Palestinian Association, and he will give you a little bit of introduction about the community here.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. So I had about a 20-minute speech ready to go, but apparently I only have 2 minutes? 2 minutes, okay. So I'll make this short. So I'm the president of the Palestinian Association in Manitoba. Basically, we try to bring the community together through food, through dance, through cultural events. But more than that, we have a lot of heritage in the city. I want to tell you about my father a little bit. He's been here since 1967, so that's a long time, and he came over with nothing, worked hard. He helped open up the Hazelwood Masjid. He helped with this masjid. He's been here for a long time, and he's done quite a bit, and actually, he's one of my role models. So if everybody can just acknowledge my father, Waji Zeed, please. And my mother, Suhad Zeed. Because behind every good man is a better woman. So, thank you very much. And now I would like to present to you our ambassador to Canada, Mona Abu Hamara, Her Excellency.
Thank you all for coming and for having me. What a beautiful gathering. Before I dig into the subject I love most, Palestine, of course, I have a So I have a little confession to make. So when I first got the poster for this beautiful event, after looking at it, I went on a little cyber stalking spree of the website. So needless to say, I might be moving permanently to Winnipeg. You guys have some amazing things that you've been doing this summer. And between you and me, I really need that self-defense class, I think. So, jokes aside, one thing really caught my eye, and I was very impressed how you tackled the issue of Islamophobia, how you presented it, how you identified what it is, how you provided the meaning, the manifestations, the resources. But most importantly, in my opinion, and it's one thing that is missing in a lot of places, is the highlighting of how important individual voices are, and how pivotal speaking up is for tackling this issue and every other type of discrimination and racism. So nobody should tolerate or appease discrimination. It will only make these crimes, allow them to grow in number and in magnitude. So tackling them head on and giving the power to oneself, especially to Muslim girls who fear the retaliation or fear to speak up for cultural or for other reasons that could come up. So for you to be working on that, that's really amazing. Thank you very much. And although I think that racism and discrimination in all its forms and shapes have one source, people could be horrible sometimes, and those people could be in any age, color, gender, nationality, religion. It doesn't stick to one or the other. And although the source is one and the solution is one, it's very important to figure out the distinct manifestations in each community. So knowledge about that would help even those marginalized communities that are facing racism to help each other conquer it, and not to be an addition to the problem, but to be a very good role model for the solution. So education for the person from within, to start from within and go outward, I think is very important. And on that subject, I wanted to tell you a little bit about a special report that came out about the Palestinian, anti-Palestinian racism. So that's for a lot of you that might be a new thing to hear. There's a group of incredible people, lawyers, that created this definition, and they put its manifestation, its examples in the Americas, in Europe, around the world. And they are a Canadian group called American Canadian Lawyers Association. And they have created this resource that people could just rely on when understanding that the things that happen to them have a shape, have a name, they're not going crazy. There is such a thing when a person is treated a certain way just because they are Palestinian. And to be able to solve it, we need to understand it first. And here that comes, it's a two-way street. It's the people who understand that they're going through it, but it's also the people on the other hand that want to help but don't understand. So those who want to help could read it and could understand more how it looks like, so they would know for themselves and for others what that looks like and how they can help going forward to prevent any of that injustice to be happening. So the problem with anti-Palestinian racism is that back at home, it manifests in so many strong things that end up in aggressions, assaults, wars, but all of this, the thing that hurts the most is the normalization, because that part feels most hurtful because it's okay to face it. With other types of racism, we've figured out, okay, this is wrong, this is not supposed to be done. But with anti-Palestinian racism, we haven't really gotten to that point, because not everyone understands that these things that happen constitute racism against Palestinians. So again, I really urge you all to see for yourself, read for yourself, and maybe that will help you understand where the Palestinians are coming from and what they're going through. And another thing that we are in need all over the place, the Palestinians need accountability. And accountability is an easy thing for everyone to talk about. It has nothing to do with Palestine because it's Palestine. We are urging everyone to look into themselves and push everybody, all of the politicians, your excellencies that are looking forward to taking on their seats, because you've always been raising your kids to support and grow up to be responsible people who call for values and call for principles. And Canada, as a country, calls and promotes and defends human rights until it comes to Palestine. We are the unfortunate exception to the protection of the international community, and Israel is the exception from its impunity to the obligations of that same rule-based international order. So we really need accountability. It's a dire part of solving the Palestinian question, and that solution is so easy and it's so long overdue. And we call on the free world to implement that international law and its legitimacy that this free world had called for, that this free world had created. We need to end our occupiers' impunity. We need
to have that accountability, we need to see that no one can be above the law. And no matter how rich, powerful, or who your steadfast allies are, it's still the same principles, values, and laws that apply to you as well. To, once and for all, stop our torture, murders, dispossession, subjugation, oppression, occupation, and apartheid. That is the only way for a lasting, just peace and for the achievement of a real, rule-based international order. Thank you all for having me.
First of all, I am being here in Manitoba, in Winnipeg, since 1969. That's the year MIA established. So we're the same age, exactly the same as MIA. So I'm delighted to address you all by saying Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. First of all, I just wanted to acknowledge and thank Her Excellency for attending this evening, the Palestinian Foodorama, and we thank her very much for coming into Winnipeg to address us and to tell us what her thoughts are and what Palestine needs from all of us. Justice, that's all we need. That's all we need. Justice, adali, what do we need? What do we need? We need those peace and harmony to be able to live in peace and harmony, our children, everywhere in the world, especially the Palestinian children. So what she has a big job to do in Canada, like any previous ambassadors were before her. And her job is to talk to the politician, to address the politician, to tell them what it's all about, what's the cause of the Palestinian cause is about. And we thank her for attending here and said what she has in her heart about Palestine. So, and the politicians will acknowledge all of them, all the parties, Liberals, NDP, and all of them were acknowledged. City Hall, and the president of the police force, everybody here was acknowledged. But again, I thank you very much for attending tonight, and I hope you enjoy the evening. And again, subhanallah wa bihamdi, la ilaha illa ant. نسألك ونتوسل إليك ونؤمن بك ونتوكل عليك ونثني عليك الخير كله نشكرك ولا نكفرك اللهم إياك نعبد وإليك نسعى ونحفد نرجو رحمتك ونخشى عذابك إن عذابك لجد بك وآخر دعوانا أن الحمد لله رب العالمين والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
Okay, we do have a student group that is Students for Justice in Palestine. They are an international group, and we do have a chapter at the University of Manitoba. So I will invite Mona. I will invite Mona from the group to introduce the group, and then we have spoken word from the group, and then there will be food after, so 5 more minutes.
My name is Mona. I am the VP of Finance at Students for Justice in Palestine. I want to start off by saying that Students for Justice in Palestine's Basis of Unity presents the core values that our members agreed upon, uphold, and support. It gives us the confidence of a common direction and solidarity when working together and debating issues. These shared principles improve our efforts to engage with, develop, and communicate ideas that we all stand behind. Students for Justice in Palestine is a grassroots interdisciplinary student collective at the University of Manitoba located on Treaty 1 territory, and we unite in vision of justice, freedom, and rights for all Palestinians and aim to provide a community of like-minded students at the University of Manitoba. We are a student community that champions justice, human rights, and freedom from the discrimination and racism against Palestinians. We do not stand for any form of harassment to any member of the student body, regardless of race, class, ethnicity, belief, and ability. We are an organization with the common goal of providing community, education, empowerment to the student body. As students, we will do our best to educate our colleagues, clear up any misconceptions, and be allies to the Palestinians at the University of Manitoba. I would like to call up on Aisha. She is going to be saying a few words on behalf of Palestinians.
Assalamu alaikum everyone. My name is Aisha Sultan. I'll be doing a poetry on behalf of, it's a piece of Ali Sow. This is a poetry of how we, living abroad, away from countries such as Palestine, get away in our daily lifestyles and we move on with our personal affairs, but the reality of Palestine and their struggle stays the same. I hope you can understand this concept a little better through these words of poetry. How can I speak for a place that I've never been to? Stand up for a country that I'm not from? Is it because the heart chooses what to feel? Humanity that binds us to realize your oppression is my problem. Your pain, my pain. Your struggle can have these fists. I live in a land free, they call. You live in Palestine, stripped away from the land we know. I wake up to an alarm clock. You wake up to the sounds of bombs. I wake up to Baba saying, Aisha, you're gonna be late for school. You wake up to Dada saying, Habibi, hurry up if you wanna live. Oh, live. I brush my teeth, you brush off your wound. I wash my face, you wash away the blood. I wear Jordans and you wear your heart on top of your skin. I go to school, you go to a war. I watch you on the news, you are the news. I scream free Palestine, and you scream help, oh help. I scream free Palestine and then I easily forget about you. I show up to parties, you show up to funerals. I hold an iPhone and you hold up caskets. We both are kids with the same age, but you are privileged. We both are kids with the same age, but you are oppressed and I'm privileged. If we lived in my fantasy, I'd be Peter Pan. I'll pick you up and off to Neverland. If we lived in my magical world, I would turn the bombs into wishes. I would turn your golden houses into golden palaces. I would turn your tears into chocolate syrup, so when it's falling down your cheeks, you end up tasting something sweet. I would make Palestine once again for you. I would turn the guns into plastic. I would turn these soldiers into Oompa Loompas, and we would dubke until joy becomes jealous of us, utterly jealous of us. In a perfect world, I would do all these things for you, but the world is far, far away from being perfect. Me only in my 20s on the other side of the world, wake up to an alarm clock. You on the other side of the world, wake up to the sounds of bombs. The world will scream free Palestine and you will scream help, oh help. And the world will scream free Palestine and then we'll check our social media and then see the crazy football game and we will let the system distract us from ever helping you. You will scream help, we will scream free Palestine, and then we will turn the other way back. I'll live, you will keep getting to die until this world decides that a beautiful boy you are worth saving for. Thank you.
So basically what I want, so that my community, Winnipeg, Greater Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada, is I want people to know that we love our heritage, we love our culture, we love being in Canada and Canadian culture. We're bringing it all together here. We have Palestinians from every walk of life here. I have Palestinians from Bangladesh, from Tanzania, from here in Canada. I have, what do you call it, Scottish Palestinian. So many Palestinians, they're all under the Palestinian roof. We do not discriminate against anybody. We have every walk of life, every religious person, every different religion here. We want Winnipeggers to understand that our culture is all-inclusive, just like Canadian society. We like to have everybody included into one house, as they say. This house today is the Manitoba Islamic Association. Today we have lots of Palestinians that are from a diverse background. I have people from all different countries, Bangladesh, Tanzania, Pakistan, Canadian, Scottish, everything. So we're really happy to see it. We want to see different faces, different people, and everybody loves to be with Palestine, and we love people to be with us. And basically we want to convey a message of peace and happiness for everybody. And we wish Palestine to be free and to be united and one and integrated with the whole world. Thank you very much. We really appreciate you guys being here and covering this event. We appreciate Zuher with a Civic platform to cover this event. It means a lot to us. We really appreciate you.
We reached the end of our episode. Thank you for watching. As you see, a lot of challenging the Palestinian face in Winnipeg and abroad. They try to showcase their message to all world and their freedom they are looking for one day, and they come back to their homeland. So if you like the episode, please like, share and subscribe to see our upcoming episodes.